Have you ever met that one person whose plants are somehow still alive? You know exactly the kind of person that I am talking about. Every plant in your house dies within 3 weeks. You water them, you encourage them, and you even move them closer to the sunlight, and somehow they still decide that life isn't for them. But then there's that one person whose balcony looks like a botanical garden. Their basil plant has children. Their money plant has grandchildren. Hell, even their cactus looks happy. And it's not just plants. People love being around them. Their home feels warm, their ideas seem to grow, their relationships seem to grow, and life seems to grow around them. Well, that's the energy of the Empress. And if the high priestess was the wise woman who was sitting quietly in a temple, then the Empress is the woman who steps out into the world and turns everything that she touches into a garden. Now, before we dive any deeper, if you're enjoying these tarot sessions, then please don't forget to subscribe because we are exploring the Fool's Journey one card at a time. And if you'd like a chance to have one tarot question answered for free, then please subscribe to the channel and send me a message using the details and the number on the screen. Now let's meet the Empress. The Empress is card number 3, and 3 is a fascinating number. Think about it. One person has an idea, that's 1. They tell another person, that's 2. Now together they create something, and that's 3. 3 is where creation begins. A recipe becomes a meal, a sketch becomes a painting, an idea becomes a business. 2 people become a family. 3 is the number of growth, creativity, and expansion. If numbers had personalities, then let's say 1 would be independent, 2 would be diplomatic, and 3 would be the friend who walks into the room and says, "Let's make this bigger." And that's exactly what the Empress does. Everything around her just grows. Now, if we look at where we are in the Fool's journey, the story starts making even more sense. The Fool began his adventure. The magician taught him that he has the tools that he needed. The high priestess taught him to trust his intuition. And now, the Empress teaches him how to nurture something until it becomes real. Because having potential is wonderful, but eventually something has to be created. And that's where the Empress enters the story. Now let's look at the card itself. You will notice that she doesn't look worried or stressed. She doesn't look like she's trying to answer emails while attending 3 Zoom meetings and eating lunch at the same time. She looks comfortable, relaxed, and at ease. Already that's a lesson that many of us need because we often think that growth comes from pressure. The Empress teaches that growth often comes from nourishment. Around her we see nature everywhere. There's trees, fields, flowers, and flowing water. Life is literally overflowing around her, and this isn't an accident. It shows us what abundance looks like, and abundance isn't just money. Many people think that abundance means a luxury car or a large bank account, but the Empress would disagree. Abundance can be something like supportive friends, good health, creative ideas, a loving family, a peaceful mind, or even a meaningful life. Now look at the field of wheat surrounding her. This is one of my favorite symbols in the entire card because wheat is the perfect symbol for growth. Nobody plants wheat on Monday and harvests on Friday. It sounds ridiculous, but that's exactly how many of us treat our own selves. We start a new habit, a new hobby, and expect instant results. We start a business and expect success immediately. We upload 5 YouTube videos and expect 1,000,000 subscribers. The Empress gently laughs and reminds us that healthy growth takes time. The wheat grows because it is consistently cared for, not because it is rushed. Now let's talk about the water flowing behind her. Now water usually represents emotions, creativity, and the subconscious mind. The presence of water reminds us that growth is not only practical. Some things grow because they are emotionally nourished. Think about a child. A child doesn't only need food, they need encouragement, support, love, and attention. The same is true for dreams, relationships, and even confidence. What you nourish tends to grow. What are you feeding every day? Are you feeding your fears or your dreams, your self doubt or your confidence? Because whatever receives your attention gets stronger. Now let's talk about how the Empress might appear in a reading. If someone asks about love and the Empress appears, then it's often a beautiful sign. It speaks of affection, warmth, care, and emotional support. It's the kind of relationship where you feel accepted, where you can show up exactly as you are. It's the kind where they make your favorite tea because they know that you've had a difficult day. That's Empress energy. In a career reading, the Empress often appears when something is growing. It could be a project, a business, a creative idea, or a reputation. It tells you, keep nurturing this. You're not seeing all the results yet, but something is developing. And if the Empress appears as advice, then she often asks a very simple question. What needs more care? Not more force, not more stress or overthinking, but more care. Because sometimes we try to solve everything with effort, but the Empress solves things with nourishment. So if the Empress appears as a challenge, then she may be pointing out that you've become disconnected from joy. Many people spend their lives chasing the next achievement, the next promotion, the next milestone, the next goal, and they forget to enjoy what they already have and what they've already created. So life isn't a productivity contest. You are allowed to enjoy the garden while it's growing. And if someone asks, how does this person see me? Then this card often tells you that they see you as warm, attractive, nurturing, creative, supportive, and emotionally mature. You're the person that people naturally open up to, the person they trust and feel safe around, the person who somehow makes everything better simply by being present. The world teaches us to ask, what can I achieve? And the Empress teaches us to ask, what can I nurture? Everyone teaches us to ask, what can I get? But this card teaches us to ask, what can I grow? The Fool learned to take the leap. The Magician learned to take action. The High Priestess learned to listen. And the Empress learns to cultivate, to water, to nourish, to trust the process. So if the Empress appears in your reading today, then ask yourself, what in my life would flourish if I stopped forcing it and started nurturing it? In our next video, we're going to meet the Emperor, and trust me, after spending time in the Empress's beautiful garden, meeting the Emperor is going to feel a little bit like meeting the person who made the rules for the garden. So the Empress says, let it grow, and the Emperor says, let's create a plan. And together, they teach one of the most important lessons in the entire tarot deck. I'll see you in the next lesson.